Okay, I've been waiting to do this. It's been a while. Well, the reason why I haven't done it already is Kamala Harris hasn't put out an agenda. She finally updated her website, and we're going to do a little Trump versus Harris agenda breakdown. We're going to start with Trump and his 2024 Make America Great Again platform, which is up on the site. I'm not going to go through. He did this lengthy, kind of like a preamble to it, and it was pretty good. And I suggest going to his website and reading it. I'm going to go through his various different policy positions here. Now, first, starts off about talking about defeating inflation and bringing down all prices. He says the Republican Party will reverse the worst inflation crisis in 4 decades that has crushed the middle class, devastated family budgets, and pushed the dream of home ownership out of the reach for millions. We will defeat inflation, tackle the cost of living crisis, improve fiscal sanity. Okay, that's one right there. Improve fiscal sanity. Okay, I don't know what they're talking about there. Again, I'd like to hear more about that. We'll find out. Restore price stability and quickly bring down prices. And he talks about inflation being a tax on American families. He's right. I've explained it. Milton Friedman has explained it. The reality of the situation is you are either paying for government spending through higher taxes or devaluing the dollar. It is what it is. That's the way we pay for things at this point in time. He says that inflation will not magically disappear while policies remain the same. We commit to unleashing American energy, reining in wasteful spending. Okay, good. Cutting excessive regulations, securing our borders, restoring peace through strength, restoring prosperity, ensure economic security, build a brighter future for American workers and their families. Again, all of these things are necessary, and I'm glad that he's pointing this out. But again, fiscal sanity. I mean, we're talking massive amounts of cuts that are going to need to take place. That's the reality of the situation. We're talking about entitlement reform, and quite frankly, that's something that Donald Trump doesn't want any part of at this point in time. Talks about unleashing American energy. Yeah, I have no problem with that at all. I think that, and one of the things I did like that he put there, he wants to get rid of the stupid Green New Deal. Well, that's, part of the Inflation Reduction Act. And he also talks about nuclear and going in that direction. Very good idea. Reining in wasteful spending. Now, this only got a sentence. Republicans will immediately stabilize the economy by slashing wasteful government spending and promoting economic growth. Okay. How are you going to go about doing that? I don't know. Again, this is where, quite honestly, I wish there were more specifics. Cut costly and burdensome regulation. He did do that when he was president, where he was eliminating for every new rule and law. They were eliminating rules and regulations. They get back to doing that. That's most certainly a step back in the right direction. Stopping illegal immigration, secure the border, restore peace through strength. Okay, this is their commitment. Okay, the next page here, calling it Chapter 2. Okay, sealing the border. Republicans offer an aggressive plan to stop the open border policies that have opened the floodgates to a tidal wave of illegal aliens, deadly drugs, migrant crime. Republicans will restore every border policy of the Trump administration and halt all releases of illegal aliens into the interior. We will complete the border wall, shift massive portions of federal law enforcement to immigration enforcement, and use advanced technology to monitor and secure the border. Again, I get that. I think, that's fine. Okay. I've had my issues with the border wall, and to think that is the end all be all. I've talked about here, and I wish we talked more, quite frankly, about utilizing E-Verify. And also another thing, you start finding a way to tax the hell out of remittances that were going back to these countries where people are coming here, working, and sending money back. That might also discourage people from coming here as well. Enforcing the immigration laws. He says they're going to strengthen ICE, increase penalties for illegal entry and overstaying visas, reinstate remain in Mexico, and other policies that helped reduce illegal immigration. This next one, though, this is a massive endeavor. And I've yet to hear anyone even talk about the logistics behind this deportation. Begin the largest deportation program in American history. My thing is this, is that you want people to self-deport. Well, when everybody sees these sickening videos that are out there, people staying and flaunting the money that they're getting and staying in hotels here. If you are allowing people to work, it's just a simple concept. If you let people come here, if you allow them to work, or you're handing them out things, they're going to continue to come. You cut that off, what are they going to do? Well, they're not going to come. If they can't work or they're not being handed out all sorts of free stuff, they will self-deport. Again, trying to go out and to deport all of these people that are here, utilizing what? The police, ICE. There's millions. How do you go about doing it? I just don't know. I'd like some more information on that. Stopping sanctuary cities. Ensuring that our legal immigration system puts American workers first. I do like merit-based immigration. I do. I think we have to head in that direction. Okay, moving on. Building the greatest economy in history. And he talks about how our workers are productive, talented, and innovative. And the thing that's holding them back is the policies of the Democrat Party. It says our America First economic agenda rests on 5 pillars: slashing regulations, cutting taxes, securing fair trade deals, ensuring reliable and abundant low-cost energy, and championing innovation. Yeah, those are all good things. Again, cutting regulations, make the Trump tax cuts permanent, and no tax on tips. He does put in here eliminating taxes on tips for restaurant and hospitality workers. Fair and reciprocal trade deals. That's what I've been saying all along. Okay. Trade deals don't need to be thousands of pages long. They just need to be a page long. Keep it simple. Reliable and abundant low-cost energy. Absolutely. Then he talks about champion innovation. And he threw crypto in there, AI, talks about space as well, some other things. Okay. Again, I think you're kind of reaching for votes and stuff like that. You champion innovation. Again, all you need to do is just get the hell out of the way. Just get the hell out of the way. Have a merit-based economy. Let companies go out there and build and create and compete, and they will, as long as you provide for them. You have the environment. You have the table set. Businesses will come from all over the globe. They're going to want to do business here. Okay. Again, I'm none too happy. We mentioned this last week on the podcast. Trump, and it's against the Nippon Steel deal with U.S. Steel. I'm like, I don't understand that. That's not championing innovation by any stretch of the imagination. Okay, next chapter. Next, I like it again. These are chapters, so like 3 paragraphs long. Anyway, bring back the American dream and make it affordable again for families, young people, and everyone. Reducing housing, education, and healthcare costs while lowering everyday expenses and increasing opportunities. Housing affordability. It says to help new home buyers, Republicans will reduce mortgage rates by slashing inflation. You can't just, you got to do things the right way. Inflation will come down. Open limited portions of federal lands to allow for new home construction. Promote home ownership through tax incentives and support for first-time buyers, and cut unnecessary regulations that raise housing costs. Like the regulations, absolutely. Okay, absolutely. Get at that. More tax incentives and deals and what that's just it. All it is, it's a gimmick. To be quite honest with you, it is. It is a gimmick. And the other thing there, opening up more federal lands for new home construction. Yeah, why not use the already all of the federal office space that you have now, tearing that down or converting it and doing that. I really don't think we need to start. Like I said, when they start talking about this, I think it spooks people, quite frankly. And the other side would say, wait a second here. You're going to start, paving over Yosemite or something like that. No, you don't. It's not the issue. Okay. You're going to drive prices down through regulation. I get that. Eliminating regulations on the cost of actually putting up a house. But again, it's almost getting into Kamala Harris talking about how she wants to mess around with zoning rules and whatnot. Don't get in that. Okay. Let the local communities decide what they want to build and where they want to live. It's none of the federal government's business to be involved with that. To reduce the cost of higher education, Republicans will support the creation of additional, drastically more affordable alternatives to a traditional 4-year college degree. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. Again, the way that the university system is run in this country, the way that the accreditation works, it just doesn't make any sense with the type of technology and the information we have today and the way you're able to get information. You can take classes online, YouTube. The cost should come down. It's just that simple. Affordable health care. Healthcare and prescription drug costs are out of control. Republicans will increase transparency, promote choice and competition, and expand access to new affordable healthcare and prescription drug options. We will protect Medicare and ensure seniors receive the care they need without being burdened by excessive costs. Again, the transparency will help. Again, increasing competition will help. I don't know how you expand access to new affordable. I don't know what they're talking about there. I really don't know what they're planning on doing. We have our system is a disaster here in the United States. Again, I almost like wish you would punt to RFK Jr. when it comes to that. Lower everyday costs. Republicans reduce the regulatory burden, lower energy costs, and promote economic policies that drive down the cost. That's important too. But again, you also have to deal with the spending in Washington, D.C. and the fact that you keep spending out of control. Inflation is a killer, and that's where it comes from. Unfair trade. Protecting American workers and farmers from unfair trade. Rebalance trade, securing strategic independence, revitalizing manufacturing, prioritize domestic production, and ensure national independence in essential goods and services, a strong, self-reliant, and prosperous America. Republicans are going to support baseline tariffs on foreign-made goods, pass the Trump Reciprocal Trade Act, and respond to unfair trading practices. As tariffs on foreign producers go up, taxes on American workers, families, and businesses come down. Again, it's the same thing. I have no problem. I've explained this before that, it's got to be fair. That's the one thing about trade. If they're putting tariffs on our car, whatever it may be, we have to do, the same thing back. I get that. I do. But we have to come to the realization that, they're not going to be making iPhones here in the United States. It's just not happening. It's just not going to happen. And again, there's nothing wrong. I'd like to have manufacturing here in the United States as well if it makes sense. You can't just snap your fingers or say tariff, 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 and all of a sudden everyone's going to come running back here to the United States. It just doesn't work that way. Secure strategic independence from China. Republicans will revoke China's most favored nation status, phase out imports of essential goods, and stop China from buying American real estate and industries. Save the American auto industry. Again, reversing harmful regulations, canceling Biden's electric vehicle and other mandates, and preventing the importation of Chinese vehicles. I agree. You want to get rid of all of the regulations, but I'm sorry. You're going to just prevent the importation of Chinese vehicles. I have no problem. No problem if they're subsidizing certain industries like autos. We have to deal with that. But we essentially do the same thing here. We do the same thing. What do you think those credits are? Tax credits for electric vehicles. It's a subsidy. Bring home critical supply chains. Buy American and hire American. He wants to ban companies that outsource jobs from doing business with the federal government. Again, this is a very difficult thing to do in today's day and age, okay? Supply chain, stuff comes from all over. I'll give you an example. You go to buy a car. It'll show you. They by law, they have to show you the breakdown where parts come from and what country they come from, all these things. That's just the way the world works. And you want the world to work this way. You want to be able to do business with all of these countries around the globe. Rising tide lifts all boats. You do not want to have a country that's basically putting a wall up and saying, hey, we'll do everything here. We don't need anybody else. That doesn't work. Become the manufacturing superpower. He wants to restore American manufacturing, creating jobs, wealth, and investment. Okay. Protecting seniors. President Trump has made absolutely clear that he will not cut one penny from Medicare or Social Security. American citizens work hard their whole lives, contributing to Social Security and Medicare. These programs are promises to our seniors, ensuring they can live their golden years with dignity. Republicans will protect these vital programs and ensure economic stability. We will work with our great seniors in order to allow them to be active and healthy. We commit to safeguarding the future of our seniors and all Americans. Again, when they say, I'm going to protect Social Security, how? He says corrupt politicians have robbed Social Security to fund their pet projects. Republicans will restore economic stability to ensure the long-term sustainability of Social Security. That makes no frickin' sense. Being honest. That's a Kamala Harris word salad. Restore economic stability. What? And all of a sudden, that's going to make Social Security sustainable? No. Again, it's bad. Republicans will protect Medicare's finances from being financially crushed by the Democratic plan to add tens of millions of new illegal immigrants to the rolls of Medicare. We vow to strengthen Medicare for future generations. How are you going to do that? How? How are you going to? Again, nothing there. Support active and healthy living. That's fine. I get that. Protect care at home for the elderly. They want to shift resources back to at-home senior care. Overturn disincentives that lead to care worker shortages. Support unpaid family caregivers through tax credits at reduced red tape. Unpaid. Again, more tax code type stuff. Protect economic foundations for supporting seniors. Again, this is more about inflation. And we got cultivate great K-12 schools leading to great jobs and great lives for young people. Commit to an education system that empowers students, supports families, and promotes American values. Our education system must prepare students for successful lives and well-paying jobs, great principals, great teachers, parental rights. It wants to end teacher tenure. all for that. Adopting merit pay, all for that. Universal school choice, absolutely. Prepare students for jobs and careers. Yes, that's what they should be doing at school. Safe, secure, and drug-free schools. Restore parental rights. Knowledge and skills, not CRT and gender indoctrination. This is good stuff, okay? Authentic civics education, freedom to pray in schools, and returning education to the states. Again, get rid of the Department of Education in Washington, D.C. This is all very good stuff. Bring common sense to government and renew the pillars of American civilization. Okay, empowering American families, promote a culture that values the sanctity of marriage, the blessings of childhood, the foundational role of families, and supports working parents, ending policies that punish families. Again, I'm a little confused on this. Rebuilding our cities and restoring law and order. Republicans will restore safety in our neighborhoods by replenishing police departments and restoring common sense policing and protecting officers from frivolous lawsuits. Standing up to Marxist prosecutors, vigorously defend the right of every American to live in peace, and will compassionately address homelessness to restore order to our streets. Again, this has to be done on the local level. It does. People decide they want to live in squalor and they want to continue to vote for idiots. There's really not much you can do. Make Washington, D.C. the safest and most beautiful capital city. They want greater federal control over Washington, D.C. to restore law and order in our capital city and ensure federal buildings and monuments are well maintained. I understand you want to maintain the monuments and take care of all of that. But in my opinion, what you want to do is you want to shrink Washington, D.C. is what you want to do. If it was up to me, again, you'd be, if there, people don't want to live there and you want to turn all those federal buildings into apartments, turn them back to nature. Shrink Washington, D.C. I don't want to big, spending money. No. Knock buildings down. The idea, I thought it was Trump, as a matter of fact, you move some of these federal agencies out of D.C., move them to different places around the country. That's truly draining the swamp. You keep all these, again, or keeping all those swamp critters together close to one another, no good. Taking care of veterans, again, making colleges and universities sane and affordable. Again, how are you going to do that? Doesn't say. I mean, but that's nice. You're saying it. Again, real simple. Real simple. You just eliminate. First, I eliminate student loans. No more federal student loans. No more. Not allowed to discharge student loan debt. Not allowed to discharge student loan debt in bankruptcy. Right now, you're right now currently you can't. I would allow it. Then what would happen was the interest rates would obviously go up because there'd be more risk involved. If banks wanted to start lending to 18-year-olds with C averages in high school, they can take their hits. The kids don't pay it back. Or maybe force the colleges and universities to have some skin in the game. Why don't they lend the money out themselves and let them deal with it? Again, if you allow colleges and universities to price their product like everybody else has to price their product, well, then the price will come down. It's unaffordable. And that's why there's student loans, and that's why there's grants and all of this other nonsense. You eliminate that, gee whiz, they're going to have to drop their price. It's just that simple. That's how the free market works. Again, combat anti-Semitism, overcome the crisis in liberal arts education, restore American beauty. Republicans will promote beauty in public architecture and preserve our natural treasures. Again, I have no problem with that. Promote our public architecture. I don't know what we really need more public architecture. I don't know. Anyway, Chapter 9, Government of, by, and for the people. Republicans offer a clear, precise, and USA-oriented plan to stop the radical left Democrats' weaponization of government and assault on American liberty. We want to ensure accountability, protecting individual liberties, fixing our very corrupt elections. Again, I agree with all of that. Dismantle censorship, protect free speech, stop woke, weaponized government, defend religious liberty. Will protect and defend a vote of the people from within the states, the issue of life. Republicans will end left-wing gender insanity, ensure election integrity. That's a big one, too. And as a contrast, we'll get into that with Kamala Harris. Return to peace through strength. Talking about Biden, his weak foreign policy. He wants to rebuild our military and alliances, countering China, defeating terrorism, and building an Iron Dome missile defense shield. Again, that's a little pie in the sky, if you ask me, quite frankly. Promoting American values, securing our homeland and borders, and reviving our defense industrial base. Build a military bigger, better, and stronger than ever before. Okay. We have a gigantic military. We spend more than everybody else. I'd rather hear more in regards to efficiency and spending our money a little bit more wisely. Strengthen alliances, strengthen economic, military, and diplomatic capabilities, defend America's borders. All right. Actually, some of the stuff Trump's plan makes sense. Some of it obviously lacking in details. So Kamala Harris finally put up her agenda, and we're going to do a little compare and contrast here. She talks about how she grew up in a middle-class home. And she believes that, again, this is it's juvenile. When the middle class is strong, America is strong. She wants to create an opportunity economy where everyone has a chance to compete and a chance to succeed, whether they live in a rural area, small town, or big city. Okay, I don't know when that hasn't been the case. I really don't. Anyway, she says building up the middle class is a defining goal of her presidency, and she's going to make it a top priority, bring down costs and increase economic security for all Americans. She's going to fight to cut taxes for more than 100 million working and middle class Americans. And I'm saying to myself, again, cutting taxes on 100. How many people actually pay taxes here in the United States at this point in time? I don't know. So you're going to cut that. You're going to make the tax code even more progressive than it is now. She's going to lower the cost of everyday needs like healthcare, housing, and groceries. How are you going to do that? Anybody notice whenever they tell you, the government ever tells you they're going to bring down the costs of things, whether it be college, whether it be healthcare? Remember Obama telling us healthcare is going to be $2,500 or lowering it by $25 for everybody out there. The exact opposite happens. It's going to bring together organized labor, workers, small business owners, entrepreneurs, and American companies to create good-paying jobs, grow the economy, and ensure that America continues to lead the world. She's going to bring together. And what is she going to do? We're going to have some sort of powwow, and all of a sudden these things are going to be created? No. She believes that working families deserve a break. Under their plan, more than 100 million working and middle-class Americans will get a tax cut. They're going to do this by restoring 2 tax cuts designed to help the middle class and working Americans: child tax credit, earned income tax credit. These are, again, these are handouts. Okay? That's what they are. These are handouts. Here you go. Oprah Winfrey Show. We're giving away cash. That's what they are. Says that nobody earning less than $400,000 a year will pay more in taxes. They need to chart a new way forward by making our tax system fairer and prioritizing investment and innovation. Fairer, huh? Yeah, the only make our tax code fairer is that if more people actually started paying it, and it wasn't just a few of us that are paying a damn bill for everybody here. That to me is fairer. Prioritizing investment in innovation. If you're going to do that, why would you be raising capital gains taxes? Why would you punish investment? She's going to ensure that this because the wealthiest Americans and largest corporations pay their fair share. Again, what does that mean? I don't know. Fair share. They talk about that all the time. They can take action to build up the middle class while reducing the deficit. This includes rolling back Trump's tax cuts for the wealthiest Americans, enacting a billionaire minimum tax, quadrupling the tax on stock buybacks, and other reforms to ensure the very wealthy are playing by the same rules as the middle class. Under her plan, the tax rate on long-term capital gains for those earning $1 million or more will be 28%. Again, got nothing. Paying down the deficit. Please, okay? There's no way. Not even close, okay, with the spending that she's planning. Making rent more affordable and home ownership more attainable. Again, this ridiculous here. 3 million more rental units. She said she put forward a comprehensive plan. I don't think they understand what the word comprehensive means. There is no plan. 3 million more rental units and homes that are affordable to end the national housing supply crisis in her first term. Cut red tape to make sure we build more housing faster and penalize firms that hoard available homes to drive up prices for local home buyers. Wants to sign legislation to outlaw new reforms of price fixing by corporate landlords. First-time home buyers, $25,000 to help with their down payments. Again, I get angry when I hear this stuff. I really do. I get, it ticks me the hell off. You know, for whether it be handing out and giving, letting college tuition go away, forgiveness, or it's not forgiveness. You're just making the people that paid off their student loans, the people didn't go to school, that didn't take out loans, the ones that may have taken out loans and paid them off already, to pay for somebody else's. Now you want me to pay for someone's down payment on their home. I'm sorry. It's messed up. It really is. Grow small business and invest in entrepreneurs. Again, this thing was, I made fun of this last week. Starts talking about business applications. Set aside 25 million new business applications. Again, if you want to start a business, just in case you know out there, young people, you don't have to go out and get yourself an application. All right. She wants to expand the startup expense tax deduction for new businesses from $5,000 to $50,000. Again, Republicans put this forward. But let me explain something to everybody. When you're a new business, more often than not, you're not making any money. Now, I get it if you want to use this deduction later on down the road, if they're going to allow that when you God willing, you start a business, you start making money. But this is basically useless. Useless when you're starting a business because you're really not making anything. Anyway, take on bad actors and bring down costs. Here we go. Bad actors. Yes, all the price gougers out there, those evil food companies there, grocery stores out there that are banging people out. I mean, nonsensical. She wants the first ever federal ban on corporate price gouging. Strengthen and bring down the cost of healthcare. Guys, Democrats, you guys have had healthcare. You took it over under Obama, and all we've done is watch the price of it skyrocket. I mean, I'm a business owner. What we pay in health insurance is obscene. It really is. Hey, again, conversation this past weekend. At the point in time where, you know what, it's almost like a side thing I'm going to be doing through Markowski Investments to help our clients. It's almost like better to self-insure at some point in time. The high deductible plans are off the charts expensive, where they were very affordable prior to Obamacare. You guys have had this the entire time. And healthcare continues to get worse and worse and worse. I pay top dollar. Simple things to get an approval for a bloody MRI right now takes forever and 10 days. All of this stuff is getting worse. You've had it. You've been in charge of it. Now you're going to strengthen and bring the cost down? What have you been doing since you took the thing over? When Obama took the whole thing over, it's been a disaster. Here we go again. Protect and strengthen Social Security and Medicare. Harris is going to protect Social Security and Medicare against relentless attacks from Donald Trump and his extreme allies. Again, she's going to strengthen it by making millionaires and billionaires pay their fair share in taxes. Does she mean she's going to start raising the payroll tax? Again, that's one of the biggest rackets ever. Biggest rackets ever, one of the biggest scams ever. And again, people buy into it because, quite frankly, they don't think very, most people are not very deep thinkers. You do realize that FICA tax, the payroll tax, it's just a tax. Okay? They say your income tax is this. Okay? Everyone pays the payroll tax. Okay? But essentially, it's the same thing. It's an income tax. It is. Okay? The money goes into the government. The government spends the money. There's no lockbox. Money is not put away. It's the same damn thing. You know what the interesting thing is? People don't even pay attention. If you were to actually max out the amount of money you make over a certain amount, you max out your what is it? I think it's over $10,000 a year, something the max you're putting into the payroll tax. And if you actually invested it in a prudent manner, do you know how much money you'd have when you retire? You wouldn't be getting a few $1,000 a month. You'd be getting tens of thousands of dollars a month. It's just math. Play with a calculator. Don't believe me? Do it yourself. Supporting American innovation and workers. Oh yeah, here we go. More nonsense. CHIPS and Science Act, Inflation Reduction Act, American Rescue Plan, all of this stuff, all of these things, more government spending. Provide a pathway to the middle class through quality, affordable education. Again, you've owned this. You Democrats have owned education. The teachers' unions are your buddies. You constantly call upon more and more public school education spending. The amount of money we spend per child is off the charts. How are the outcomes? You've had it. You had it. And then she says here, Vice President Harris has delivered the largest investment in public education, providing nearly $170 billion in student debt relief for almost 5 million borrowers. And going on with this nonsense. Yeah. The Supreme Court said no to that. Again, you've owned education. This is the thing I don't understand. You people that you vote for this stuff, it's theirs. It's completely theirs. You own it. And it's a disaster. Invest in affordable childcare and long-term care. How do you invest in affordable childcare? Just out of curiosity. Does she know what the word invest means? Fight to lower care costs for American families, including by expanding high-quality home care services for seniors and people with disabilities and ensuring hardworking families can afford high-quality child care. So you're basically saying, here you go, we're giving away cash. You're giving away money. That's all it is. It's another giveaway. Lower energy costs and tackle the climate crisis. Again, I'm going to go through the same BS, Green New Deal nonsense. And then, pretty much goes off on a lot of Trump policies and talks about civil rights and free, a lot of that, the nonsense there that they've got. Talks about making communities safer from gun violence and crime. Again, where the worst areas of crime in the country, you guys own them. You own them. They're yours. You've wrecked these places already. I don't understand it, quite frankly. Secure our borders and fix our broken immigration system. You were supposedly in charge of this, and granted, I know you were, your vice president, borders are. You didn't have any power. I get that. But let's be honest here. Okay. You guys own all the sanctuary cities, all the problems, everything that's happening. We're seeing what's happening now with all of the gang violence that's taken place. Again, it's usual claptrap. And basically that's it. That's, their agendas there. Okay. For the most part. I wish, quite frankly, more specifics. You're not going to get much out of Kamala Harris because she doesn't know. She doesn't know. It's not her running the show. I wish maybe Trump could get more of his, again, I almost wish he would tell everybody who his team's going to be to tackle various different things. I think that's important. Some people say, oh, no, you can't do that because then it allows the media to pick these other people apart. No, it's like, you're putting together a team. And this is who I'm going to have do this. This is who I'm going to appoint for this. This is going to handle this. This is the experts in this. And that's what a business starts with a CEO does. You put people in the positions where they're going to be successful. Again, what have we seen out of Democrats? They mostly, Biden, DEI hires people that shouldn't be in positions that are in positions for whatever reason it may be. It would allow Trump to differentiate himself from this. Again, we'll see how deep they get into this in the debate. Again, I've been waiting for Kamala's thing so we can go over both of these agendas. This is what we've got so far. WatchDog on wallstreet.com.